Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Coach Paul Tadalon, owner of Fit Results Logan Square here in Chicago, and I'm going to talk to you about my 5-year journey of intermittent fasting. But first things first, we're on shutdown because of the coronavirus. So I hope you and your loved ones are staying strong, staying healthy, staying fit in whatever way that you can. We as a gym have to shut down operations and do everything that we do in person to the online training space. So I've been recording live workouts here every morning at 7 a.m., doing them with my gym, and they've been real fun. If you want to find out more about that, I'll link to that below. But I've also recorded some at-home workouts that you can do, bodyweight workouts and minimal equipment workouts that you can do just to keep your body going, just to keep your fitness up during this real tough, crazy time. So I'll link to those below as well if you want to try those out. And if you do, let me know how they go. But what you're searching for is information about intermittent fasting. And maybe you're looking for answers to all your questions. Maybe you're looking for the benefits because you might have heard someone talk about it and you want to find out more, or you're looking for results to see if this really works. I myself, I've been fasting for about 5 years in different forms, but back then when I started fasting, there was a ton of medical research about fasting and its benefits for people with diabetes and obesity, and there wasn't that many resources about fasting for just everyday life, everyday people just like you and me. There were books like Eat, Stop, Eat, The Warrior Diet. There were things online. Lean Gains was a big one coming up at the time. But fast forward to today, there's a ton of research out there. There's a great book called The Obesity Code. There's Dr. Eric Berg, who talks about fasting and the ketogenic diet. There's Thomas DeLauer, who's a very popular one with great videos and really good information about fasting and the benefits and the scientific research of fasting. I highly suggest going to them if you're looking for like really detailed scientific research. But I'm going to talk to you about my experience because there may be some videos about, hey, I tried fasting for a week, or I tried fasting for a day, or I fasted for a month and this is what happened. But not a lot of videos on how fasting is for months at a time, for years at a time, as a lifestyle. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Because there was a time in my life when I was very overweight. I used to be in the military, I was in the Air Force. Fitness has always been a huge part of my life, and there was a time where I was in really good shape. But after the military, I found myself in a corporate marketing career, working 16, 18 hours a day behind a computer, eating junk, drinking, smoking, still training like 2 hours, 3 hours in the gym because fitness was my therapy. But you can't out-train a bad diet, so I put on a lot of weight. Now, my friends and I decided to do a Biggest Loser competition where we measure our body fat with skin calipers, and we all, 15 of us, put $100 on the line, and we try to see who can lose the most body fat within 15 weeks. So I'm like, okay, I need to change up my diet and change up my fitness, so I joined this competition with my friends. I do a bunch of research, and all the people that I was training with at the big box gyms were saying, hey, you got to eat 10, 12 meals a day every 2 hours to keep your metabolism going. So I did that. So I went to work with my big ass lunchbox and a bunch of Tupperwares of food, and I ate every 2 hours, only resulting in me being super obsessed about when I was eating and being super angry if I missed a meal. And I definitely was not losing any weight, and my metabolism wasn't firing up. So I was like, well, what's the deal? Only to find out later that I was just training my body to eat at those certain times, and my body was releasing a hormone called ghrelin that says, hey, you've been eating at 8 a.m., where's your meal? It's 9 a.m., you're going into starvation mode. But you're really not going into starvation mode, that's just what your body wants you to think if you've trained it to think that way. But I knew needed to do something else. So long story short, I do 3 things, and I start doing more research, and there's 3 things that I find out that I need to do, and I'm going to order these in importance. It's flexible dieting, specifically tracking your calories, your macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats, understanding what you need to maintain your weight and what you need to be at a deficit to lose that weight in X amount of time. Because at the end of the day, it's almost all about calories in, calories out. Only if your hormones are in check, specifically your insulin resistance and your insulin sensitivity. Now, if that is all out of whack, The two other things, the next thing that's very important is understanding your carb intake. What I did was a cyclical ketogenic diet and a targeted ketogenic diet, and I still do that today, where I put carbs either at certain times of the day or certain times of the week, and the other times of the day or other times of the week, I'm relatively no carb. Carbs are not the enemy for all you religious ketogenic people out there. Carbs aren't the enemy, excess carbs are the enemy. Carbs have a perfectly fine place in a balanced, nutritious diet, and it's only about having excess carbs as it pertains to how your body responds to carbs. Excess carbs and turning those into sugars and fats. So carbs aren't the enemy, and I just want people to know that. But if you're used to eating carbs all the time and using that as energy all the time, cutting down those carbs will help you become a better fat burner. Fat burner when you are fasting. So I also found out about intermittent fasting, and I found out all the benefits about intermittent fasting and different kinds of fasting. So what I worked my way up to at the time was a regular 16 and 8. And there's a bunch of other fasts. There's 20-hour fast, 24-hour fast, extended fast, dry fast. But the most popular and attainable one for a regular lifestyle is the 16 and 8, only because there's a ton of research about what happens to your body at that 16-hour period. Doing these three things, let's talk about results, helps me burn, let's say, I think at the time was like 20 to 30 pounds, whatever 15 weeks is later. I'm going to show some pictures. So I'm able to burn fat, maintain muscle, and get to a place where I'm really happy at doing those three things. Doing a light cardio session, fasted cardio or fasted workout in the morning, and then training also again later at night. I do like 30 minutes on a bike or an elliptical in the morning. This just worked out for my schedule. A light cardio session in the morning, and then later in the evening, heavier weightlifting. My life of fitness has definitely changed since then, but fasting has always since then been a staple in how I go about my life. I end up winning that competition, and fasting becomes a regular thing in my life. Since then, I have found myself in periods, and especially coming out of the wintertime, where I'm eating a bunch during the holidays, super lax with my diet, super lax with the fasting, just eating a bunch, calling it bulking, and saying I'm going to put on a bunch of weight until January when my friends and I do another competition. And these are the results from that one. And then we do more competitions, and these are the results from that one. These are the results from that one. All being able to cut weight, starting off at different points. Sometimes I'm in great shape, sometimes I'm in not so great shape, but the result is pretty much always the same. Sometimes the results are better than others because maybe I didn't track my calories to the right detail. Maybe I didn't fast and was still fasting and ate a bunch of junk. Just all these different factors that happen. But as you can see, with fasting and those other things that I talked about, I'm able to maintain muscle and lose body fat. And I keep highlighting maintain muscle because every old school person that hasn't done the research will tell you that fasting is just starving your body and you're gonna eat up all your muscle, you're gonna get super skinny and you can't perform in the gym and you can't get strong. Not the case, not the case. And I will say that till the day that I die. Fasting is actually good as long as you're getting enough calories, because it's not about starving yourself. It's not about calories in a day. It's calories within a week. So as long as you're getting the right amount of calories when you do eat, you're not going to lose muscle. And actually fasting with the proper diet and nutrition will help you maintain muscle because of all the hormones that are released and the benefits of your body, what happens when you are fasting. There's things like human growth hormone that gets released. There's autophagy, the recycling of waste in your body, so that to feed cells, to eat your body and cleanse itself and give your body energy. There's tons of research about why fasting does not starve yourself. It's not about starving yourself. You're still eating, you're just eating at certain periods of the time. Now, let's talk about my life. Since then, I became a personal trainer and then full-time trainer, and now I own a gym. My lifestyle is waking up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. to teach classes and teach clients at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And then I get my own workouts in the morning, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I love training in the mornings until I teach more clients, and then I teach a noon class, and then I finally break my fast around 1 o'clock. I also do, since then, my fitness goals have changed. There was a time where I got into endurance sports, and I was doing triathlons and Ironmans, and I do Olympic weightlifting, CrossFit. My gym is about strength and conditioning and athletic performance enhancement. So those are the regular workouts that I do. I do CrossFit style workouts too, so that I can compete in that because I like competing and stuff. But I do a bunch of different things. But what I'm trying to drive home is that my workouts in the morning might be short, fast, hard sprinting workouts. They might be long endurance workouts. They might be heavy weightlifting, 1 rep max, high power output, power lifting, deadlift, squat, clean and jerk, snatch workouts, all fasted. Your performance will not suffer during that time. There might be an adjustment period, and we'll talk more about getting started with fasting, but I'm just talking to you about the results. I do a bunch of different kinds of workouts, all fasted, all super happy with my performance. If my performance is ever not where it should be, it's because, one, I have to look at how my training week is going. Am I not eating enough calories when I am eating? How should I adjust my macros and my calories during when I am eating to perform better in those workouts? The thought of waking up in the morning and eating before a workout kind of just makes me sick to my stomach. Not to say there are times, specific times where I would eat in the morning, but like that's a very rare occasion, and it's only because I know that how I was eating the day before. The point that I'm trying to drive home here is you're going to do your research like you're doing now. And a lot of people are going to say this about fasting, and a lot of people are going to say that. Some people are going to say it's the devil. Some people think it's the Messiah. So I am a firm believer that the best research that you can do is the one that you do on yourself and your own personal experience. So I invite you to take this on if you're curious, because we have all the time in the world. We have a ton of time to try new things and see how we feel about things and test our bodies in different ways, just so that we have the knowledge so that we can talk about it later to other people that might be looking for answers. But we don't have enough time to not follow our curiosities and just live off our assumptions and just what people are telling us. For me personally, fasting has been super beneficial to my life. It's been very beneficial to my wife, a woman who is also into the same workouts that I do. She's also been able to lose weight, get stronger while fasting. And the reason why I got inspired to do this video is because we're in quarantine right now, and I've been stress eating and snacking all the time this past month, trying to figure out things with the gym. I'm a new dad. I have an 8-month-old beautiful baby girl daughter, and I'm still adjusting to dad life. So my diet and nutrition is kind of falling off the hinges. So I set a goal to get everything back in check, to fast every single day this month. Not saying that for a general lifestyle that you should be fasting every single day of the month, but this month I'm going to fast every single day of the month just to get my body back in check, cut some fat, and get out of this quarantine in a better shape than I would be if I was super unconscious about my diet. All right. So if you want to follow that journey, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see y'all later. Love, peace, happy training.